Dear friend, today I want to share with you something that, at our age, most of us have felt in one way or another. It's the slow weakening of our muscles over time. Did you know that after the age of 60, the body begins to lose about 3 to 8% of its muscle mass every decade? There's a medical term for this sarcopenia. It may sound unfamiliar, but in reality, it's the very thing that makes your legs feel less steady, your arms weaker when carrying grocery bags, or even turns something as simple as standing up from a chair into a real challenge. I'd like you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time my steps felt truly light and effortless? Maybe it was 5 years ago, maybe 10. But as time moves on, the muscles slowly shrink and we start accepting it as just an inevitable part of aging. But here's what I've learned as a physician after decades of working with patients between 50 and 80 years old, that weakness doesn't always have to be your destiny. Often it's simply a signal, your body's way of asking you to listen to, care for it more wisely. I remember one of my patients, Mr. Richard, who was 72. He used to love gardening. One day he told me, "Doctor, I bent down just to pull a few weeds, and my back trembled. My legs felt like they couldn't hold me. I'm afraid that one day I'll collapse right there in my garden." When I examined him, I found he had lost a significant amount of muscle mass and was also deficient in vitamin D3. Together we made some changes. He added more nutritious foods, began gentle exercises, and even enjoyed herbal teas each morning. Just a few months later, he came back to see me with a bright smile. He said, "Now I can walk around my garden again, breathe in the fresh air, and take care of my flowers with my own hands. I feel like I've gotten a few years younger." You see, the human body is like a machine. Even if it's older, it can still function beautifully, so long as we give it the right care. And that care doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as getting a good night's sleep, taking a small vitamin, keeping up a daily movement routine, or enjoying a warm cup of tea in the morning. Science tells us that sarcopenia comes from many factors. Resistance to building new muscle from protein, chronic low-grade inflammation in the body, and slower blood circulation. But if we set aside the medical terms, you can imagine it this way. Muscles are a lot like the strings of a guitar. When we're young, the strings are tight, full of energy, and they give off a strong, clear sound. But over the years, those strings loosen. And if we never tune them, never replace them, the guitar slowly loses its beautiful voice. Have you ever felt that just climbing a few steps and suddenly your heart is racing? Your breath is short, your legs heavy as stone, or after sitting for a while, you stand up only to feel wobbly and unsteady? That is your body whispering to you, "I'm getting weaker, please help me." What's fascinating is that the solution isn't always found in a doctor's office or in expensive prescriptions. Sometimes it comes from the simplest things. I once advised a patient of mine to add green tea to his morning routine. Green tea contains EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation, improves circulation, and even helps the body use protein more effectively to support muscle. Just that one small habit made a big difference. And then there's ashwagandha, an Ayurvedic herb with a 3,000-year history. When taken as a tea or an extract form, it can boost muscle strength, reduce stress, and balance hormones. I'll never forget one former Marine who came to me. After just a few months of using ashwagandha, along with gentle daily walks, he told me, "Doctor, I feel like my legs no longer betray me. I can walk around the neighborhood without needing a cane." And you know what? Even sleep plays a vital role. Many people think of sleep as just rest, but for your muscles, sleep is the workshop of repair. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, the golden fuel that helps muscles rebuild and grow stronger. Yet so many of us dismiss sleep or think that insomnia is just a normal part of aging. But it isn't. Quality sleep is in fact the most natural rejuvenation medicine you could ever give yourself. I often tell my patients, every step you take is a declaration. Either it declares that you're letting old age take control, or it declares that you're still in charge of your body. And the choice is yours. So let me ask you to imagine this: tomorrow morning, you step outside your front door. You take a deep breath. You walk down the steps without trembling. You circle your garden admiring the flowers without needing to stop and rest. Your legs are no longer a burden, they are your trusted companions. Beyond green tea, rooibos tea from South Africa is also a wonderful choice. It's naturally caffeine-free, yet packed with antioxidants that help reduce stress and improve circulation. You can enjoy rooibos in the evening without worrying about losing sleep. In fact, many people report that their sleep becomes deeper and more restorative after drinking it. And for those who need a boost in strength and better hormone balance, ashwagandha root tea is the answer. I know the name may sound unusual, but this herb has been used for over 3,000 years in traditional Indian medicine. It's known as an adaptogen, meaning it helps the body adapt to stress balance hormones and build muscle strength. I've seen many patients who, after just a few months of adding ashwagandha to their daily routine, noticed remarkable changes, firmer muscles, steadier legs, and even a brighter, more positive spirit. Of course, tea alone is not enough. Our muscles need movement in order to survive. But here's the good news: you don't need a gym membership or heavy weights. Even the simplest resistance exercises make a difference. Try standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times a day, or lifting 2 small water bottles as makeshift weights. These small actions spark big changes. They activate your muscles, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and keep your legs strong and steady. When was the last time you felt your blood pumping after just a bit of movement? That warm rush is priceless. It's your body's way of saying, I'm still here, I'm still fighting to stay strong. And here I must mention something just as important: vitamin D3 and calcium. Picture your body as a house. Bones are the frame, muscles are the walls. If the frame is weak, the walls crack. If the walls aren't strong, the house collapses. Vitamin D3 is the cement that binds muscles to bones, while calcium is the raw material that builds the frame itself. Without enough D3, your body cannot absorb calcium properly, your bones weaken, and your muscles can't hold firm to the structure. I've seen patients who tripped and stumbled simply because they were deficient in vitamin D3. But with the right supplement, their balance and strength returned in just a short time. In fact, a study in the UK showed that people over 65 who took 800 IU of vitamin D3 daily for only 5 days improved leg strength by an average of 19%. That number might surprise you, but I've seen it firsthand. It's absolutely real. Now, you might be thinking, at my age, do these small changes still matter? And my answer is absolutely. I've seen patients well into their 80s who, with nothing more than daily sit-to-stand exercises, better sleep, herbal teas, and vitamin D3, regain their balance and confidence within just a few months. If they can, why not you? So picture this: in the morning, you brew a cup of green tea and inhale its gentle aroma. In the afternoon, you do 10 sit-to-stands from your chair. In the evening, you sip on a warm cup of rooibos and let yourself drift into deep restorative sleep. Day by day, your body begins to change. Each muscle fiber is nourished, every step grows steadier, and each breath fills you with new confidence. And before we finish, I want to pause for a moment on two teas that many of you may not be as familiar with: rooibos tea and ashwagandha tea. Rooibos is a red tea from South Africa, and what makes it so unique is that it's completely caffeine-free. That means you can enjoy a cup in the evening without worrying about losing sleep. I often call rooibos the companion of deep sleep. It doesn't just relax you, it's also packed with natural antioxidants that can improve blood circulation. One of my patients, a 72-year-old woman, once told me, "Doctor, ever since I started drinking rooibos, every night I've been sleeping better, and in the morning my legs don't feel as numb and achy as before." Perhaps it's because better circulation allowed her muscles to recover more quickly after activity. Now let's talk about ashwagandha. The name may sound unfamiliar, but it has been used for thousands of years in Ayurveda, India's traditional system of medicine. It's what we call an adaptogen, an herb that helps the body self-regulate and adapt to stress. For older adults, ashwagandha is especially valuable because it can both increase muscle strength and help balance hormones. In fact, a recent study showed that people over 60 who regularly took ashwagandha experienced improvements in testosterone and growth hormone levels, leading to firmer muscles and greater endurance. I still remember one of my patients, Richard, age 68. He used to feel exhausted even after light exercise. But after just a few months of combining ashwagandha with regular activity, he told me, "Doctor, I feel like I'm 10 years younger." However, there's a silent challenge we all face after 60, something called anabolic resistance. Put simply, our bodies are no longer as efficient at building muscle from protein as they were in younger years. Even if you eat enough meat or fish, your body may struggle to turn that protein into muscle tissue. The good news: this can absolutely be improved. The best approach is a combination protein-rich nutrition, herbal support, like green tea rooibos and ashwagandha, to reduce inflammation and improve circulation, plus simple resistance exercises. Think of it this way: a single brick cannot become a wall on its own. It needs cement and it needs the hands of a builder. Protein is the brick. It needs hormones, blood flow, and the stimulation of exercise to come together as strong living muscle. When all those factors combine, the results can be remarkable. And now I want to leave you with this thought. Fighting age-related muscle loss is not a fierce battle. It's a steady, gentle journey. A cup of rooibos tea in the evening, a cup of green tea in the morning, a few sit-to-stand exercises, caring for your sleep and taking the right vitamins. These may seem like small actions, but together they form a bigger picture: a stronger body, a more confident mind, and steady legs to carry you through the later years of life. Have you ever imagined yourself at 70, still strolling peacefully through the park hand in hand with your loved one without needing a cane? That's not some faraway dream. It's the well-earned reward for those who begin caring for their bodies today. So which first step will you choose on this journey? Will it be a warm cup of tea tonight or 10 sit-to-stands before bed? Whatever it is, just begin, because it's the small steps that lead us to the big path. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found these insights helpful, I invite you to subscribe to this channel so we can continue exploring more stories of health together, where aging is not about weakness, but about entering a new chapter of strength and wisdom.